Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to Biology online class. This is Salma Akhtar Sweetie. Today I am going to discussing about applications of tissue culture along with the advantages and disadvantages. In the previous video you have already known that tissue culturing of plants is a breeding technique. That is, we can make new baby plants through the tissue culturing of plant cell and grow them in fields. But why we are using the tissue culture rather than the traditional breeding by seeds? It's because tissue culture offers some advantages over the traditional breeding, such as a single explant can be multiplied into several thousands of plants in less than a year. This allows fast commercial propagation of new cultivars. That is, from a small part that we use as explant, we can have several thousands of plants, and each will take a short period of time, and by these new cultivars, those are introducing their business, they will grow many plants in a short period of time, that will be commercially advantageous for them. Taking an explant does not usually destroy the mother plant, so rare and endangered plants can be cloned safely. That is, if we take a small part from a plant, that will not destroy or damage that plant. And so there are many rare plants or many plants that are endangered plants becoming extinct from our environment, and if we take some part from them, they will not be extinct, and we can make many plants from that part of the plant, and we will produce new plants, and such we will prevent the extinction. Once established, a plant tissue culture line can give a continuous supply of young plants throughout the year. That is, if we can establish a plant tissue culture from a plant, that then we can make many plants throughout the year. In the traditional breeding, we will see that plants are found in a fixed time of the year, and we have many fruits and flowers in a specific season. But through the tissue culture technique, we can have plants throughout the year. And the production of exact copies of plants that produce particularly good flowers, fruits, and have other desirable traits. When we select a plant for tissue culturing, we will select a healthy or a plant that produce good flowers or good foods, and then when we make new plants from that plant, we will have same type of flowers and fruits from the new plants. And as in the tissue culturing process we give nutrition to the cells, then we will have mature plants in a very short period of time. That is, plants will mature quickly, and we will find fruits and flowers in short time. Other advantages include the production of multiples of plants in the absence of seeds or necessary pollinators to seeds. In the traditional breeding, we have seen that pollination is very important for plant, and without pollination there will be no seeds and there will be no baby plant. But in the tissue culture technique, we can use any part of the plant. That is, we are not bound to use the seed. and that's why we can produce plants without seeds. The regeneration of whole plants from plant cells that have been genetically modified. You have seen that in the genetic engineering process, we introduce a new trait or new characters to a cell, and by tissue culturing the cells, we can have a whole plants from only a cell, only one cell. We can have a whole plant. The production of plants in sterile containers that allows them to move with greatly reduced chances of transmitting disease, pest, and pathogen. As tissue culturing technique is done in a very controlled environment that is germ free, that's why there is very low chances of transmitting disease or attacked by pathogens. And the production of plants from seeds that otherwise have very low chances of germinating or growing. For example, orchids. The seeds of orchids usually doesn't grow easily, but if we use tissue culture technique, we can have plants from small part of seeds. And to clean particular plants of viral and other infections, and to quickly multiply these plants as cleaned stock for horticulture and agriculture. That is, suppose a plant is attacked by a virus or any other infection, but we can clean some parts that are not attacked by the virus, and we can use that part, that healthy part of the plant, to make new plant through the tissue culture. And each and every of these advantages are very unique for the tissue culture technique, that can never be obtained by the traditional breeding process. And for these advantages, we are using tissue culture technique. Tissue culture is a multidimensional technique, and we use tissue culture in many aspects of our life. So let's know the applications of tissue culture. First of all, the commercial production of plants used as potting, landscape, or florist subjects. That is, you have already known that by the tissue culturing process, we will have many plants in a short period of time. So, if we produce plantlets commercially, that will be advantageous for us. And by this process, some plants that are used for potting, that is inside indoor plants or the ornamental plants, are produced for commercial uses. To conserve rare and endangered plant species, I've already discussed the topic, that is, some plants are becoming extinct, and we can separate some part of the plant and grow new plants that will prevent their extinction. And a plant breeder may use tissue culture to screen cells rather than plants for advantageous characters. For example, herbicide resistance or tolerance. As in the tissue culture process, only one cell we can have one plant. So we can separate the cells which have the special characters. For example, here herbicide resistance or herbicide tolerance. Large scale growth of plants in liquid culture in bioreactors for production of valuable compounds like plant derived secondary metabolites and recombinant proteins and as biopharmaceuticals. That is, here we are not producing plants be only growing plant cells in a liquid culture. And if plant cells have the ability to produce some chemicals that are needed by us, then it will give that products, and we can use that proteins as medicines or any other purposes. To cross distantly related species by protoplast fusion and regeneration of noble hybrid. Here you are seeing that a banana that have the characteristics of watermelon. So it's a noble hybrid that never ever be produced by the traditional reproduction process, and it is possible to produce such kind of noble hybrid by unrelated species of plants. Other applications include the regeneration of transgenic plants. Transgenic plants are those plants that are produced from the genetic engineering technique, that is plants with new character. So transgenic plant, from a small part from the transgenic plant we can produce thousands of plants, and it is the regeneration. Certain techniques such as meristem tip culture can be used to produce clean plant material from virus stocks such as sugarcane, potatoes, and many species of soft fruit. That is, if a plant is attacked by disease, then we can separate some healthy part from that plant, and we can make healthy plant from that healthy part by the tissue culture technique. Production of identical sterile hybrid species can be obtained through the tissue culture technique. All of the plants are of same type of characteristics, and this having same type of characteristics is called identical. A large scale production of artificial seeds through somatic embryogenesis. Some plants which do not produce endosperm can be developed directly by culturing their embryo, and it will give artificial seeds. Though tissue culture have been used widely, but it have some disadvantages too. For example, high labor cost. As tissue culturing is a critical technique, it needs high labor, and it producing plants by this is quite costly. But our requirement for expensive and sophisticated facilities, trained personnel, and specialist technique. General people can't do tissue culture technique. Processing the tissue culture, it needs a laboratory environment that have sophisticated or very modern instruments, and the person who are doing this, they must be trained and know the special techniques, and a high volume, more or less continuous distribution system or adequate storage facilities to stockpile products is required. That is, we will have many plants in a short period of time, so they have to be stored, and they have to be stored in a condition that will not destroy them. Pathogen contamination or insect infestation can cause high losses in a short time. It is done in sterile condition, but if there is an accidental case, and if there is infection is done, then all of the plants will be infected. And that's why a small error or a small mistake can cause a high loss. And in the process, careful roughing, field testing of new products, and continuing research and development are essential to decrease the risk that is to be infected by the insect or pathogen. And if we produce many plants, we must market them. And so economics and marketing are the key to success of the commercial operations. In conclusion, we can say that tissue culture is therefore a great significance in biological studies due to its wide range of applications. This process involved in tissue culture may be complex, requiring a lot of care to avoid such effects as contamination, that is, infected by pathogens. And because of the complexities that may be involved in some steps of the process, this process may not be an experiment for everyone. That is, general people can do tissue culture technique. Only expert people can do tissue culture technique in a laboratory environment. So this is all for today. Thank you all. Take care. Allah Hafiz.